So Trump pleased to be 2-0 ahead, but Dom, you know well, it's all about keeping the foot on the pedal now, because a 3-0 win would be even greater currency.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see Mark concede at the end of that last frame, just with the 2 snookers required. It's easily possible for a player to get 2 snookers or more and win frames. And in a format such as this, conceding when he did, and thereby conceding defeat in the frame to take a 2-0 deficit going into frame 3, has put him under a lot of pressure. I would have thought he'd have carried on, just give himself any glimmer of hope that he could have done to get back into the match and win the frame. And it definitely sends a signal to your opponent when I mean, if you're in Judd Trump's position and you're walking back to your chair thinking your opponent needs 2 snookers, but he just doesn't even think about it, can see straight away, it just gives you a little bit of an insight into what's going through your opponent's mind, I feel. Quite a snooker, Judd can cut this red in quite easily, and if you can just get good position on the colour, every chance for Judd to get into the pack of reds, but he did pop that red on the thin side, and he certainly won't be on a colour here.
I can tell you over on table 2, Jack Lazowski has won the second frame very comfortably, aided by a break of 47, and he's now on level terms with Mark Selby at 1 frame each. Will Judd take this red on? Certainly not an automatic shot to nothing. Had to do well to avoid cannoning into the black and the red to the right of it. Didn't avoid the cannon. Now has he been lucky? No. Well, Mark doesn't appear to be on a red here, but I think he'd be the first to admit that wasn't the best of shots that he played. Glanced off the pink, almost went in off. Had he have caught the pink full ball, the reds would have spread better and the cue ball would have been at least a foot higher up the table.
Mark Williams, 6.
Just wonder if the 2 reds near the pink spot are close to being a plant to this left corner, and if they are, Judd may be looking at them now. Wonder if Judd's thinking of playing the red that's just above the pink and to the left of it into those 2 reds. Now, if he plays it well, he could actually screw the cue ball off the pink and take it back towards the bulk end. went all out for it.
One.
And for position on the black. What a terrific pot that was from Judd. He must have been very sure of that plant to play the shot the way he did.
From this angle, the black looks tight, but clearly there is a passage there.
Eight. Nine.
Everyone in snooker knew just how good Judd Trump was as a junior and an amateur.
14.
We knew the limitless potential there, but when he originally turned professional, it wasn't an overnight success story
15.
by any means. In fact, in his first few seasons, I think he would be the first to agree he underperformed. So good results against top players were really important
20.
for him in terms of self-belief, and he obtained one of those against Williams in the final qualifying round of the Bahrain Championship in 2008.
21.
Won 5-2, made a couple of centuries. The big breakthrough came 10 years ago when he won the China Open, and ever since he's been a force to be reckoned with. Playing exquisite shots like that.
Yeah, sometimes you just drop so nicely on your colour that the angle's just perfect for you to play the shot that Judd played there, just developing the red.
29.
It does appear the black must pot into this right corner. Looks extremely tight.
Now how about that? Just went past the red, and it just about
36.
caressed the near jaw and went in at slow pace.
37.
The offending red removed, and now it's, well, should be plain sailing.
Judd cleverly playing for the red into this right corner without playing any cannons. If he'd have cannon into the
44.
red directly above the black, could have easily jammed on one of the reds and finished rather awkwardly.
45.
But that's not the best shot from Judd. Unless one of the two reds together by the pink spot pot into this left corner. Obviously not, so had to play the top one of those two into the right centre. He is drawing ever closer
52.
to victory here. Lead of 47, which I expect to see increase. Already 2-0 to the
53.
good, so just a couple more pots away here, Judd, from a very handy start.
Yes, and very handy when you consider that he remains on this table next to take on Tom Ford.
$60.
Well, he had faith in his ability to pull off this plant.
61.
The blue is frame and match ball.
Can't get close to his next red, but he'll certainly be able to leave himself a pot on something. Just wonder though, if Judd plays a decent safety here,
66.
Mark Williams may well concede anyway.
$67.
I'll tell you what though, for all of Trump's achievements, he really does hunger for century breaks. And so the concentration won't drop here. He'll want to notch another one and get ever closer to Stephen Hendry.
72. 73.
Well, I'll have to say I do strongly fancy Judd to complete the century here. I need the two remaining reds with high value colours, followed by yellow and green to complete that task.
80. 81.
On that century break list, he's like a Ferrari in Hendry's rear view mirror. Of course, though, if Stephen Hendry does come back, there's the possibility he could add to his
88.
tally of centuries himself.
89. 96. 98. 101.
An insatiable appetite for century breaks. He just feasts on them. He really does. He's made more this season than
105.
anyone else. Again.
110. 116.
There's a £500 prize for the highest break of the group. This won't last, but it's the early marker.
116, frame in a match.